Lunea here, guys. So, I just watched a video. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my camera right. Hang on. Probably gonna have to start this over. Anyway, I just watched a video by, I gotta look because I've lost it. It's Beanbag Hagwag, a friend of mine. And then she had watched a video by Natural Witchery. And both of those videos were titled the VR. Well, okay, Beanbag did a VR to Natural Witchery. I am doing a VR to both. Beanbag, Hagwag, and Natural Witchery. And the reason is because they had both done a video about living a magical life and what that basically is to them. And each of them talked about challenges, and I thought, this is the perfect opportunity to kind of slide in there the challenges that happen in some people. Natural Witchery talked about a health scare. And Beanbag talked about a little bit of a depression situation going on. And I thought, this is a good time. So I'm gonna jump in there. A magical life. What is a magical life? Well, it is hard to have a magical life when you are faced with health scares, especially because I had one in June, a very bad one. June of last year, they found that I have a syndrome or a disorder, or I don't know exactly what they call it, but it's DVT-PE, which means I get blood clots in my legs that travel. PE is because it was in my pulmonary area. It went to my lungs. It could have gone to my heart. I personally believe it went to my brain. I had too many strokes that caused a few months of problems. So that's the number one, that, health scares, getting through a health scare and trying to feel magical. I mean, it's almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it is close to impossible. And then there is something else that I deal with that I don't talk about a lot. And I don't talk about it because it has a stigma. But personally, I suffer from bipolar disorder. So I am manic, and then I go into a depressive state. At the moment, I have tried to sleep 3 times and cannot. So obviously I'm coming back into a manic. I am not the person that gets a manic situation often. I get them very, very sporadically, and they usually last me 2 to 5 days. I have just come out of one, did not hit the depressive state, and am going back into a manic state. This is new to me. This is not something I've ever dealt with. Normally, when I come out of a manic state, I have a huge dive. I am depressed for days on end. There are times that I can't get out of bed. How do you feel magical when all of that is happening? Well, this is what I do. I come into my office and I light that white candle right there, and an incense in that spot right there, to the divine. I light that pink candle right there to my ancestors. And I do that as often as I possibly can to pull myself back to reality, which is I am a magical person. My ancestors are with me. That pink candle is my ancestor altar. My deity and my divine team is with me, and that is the white candle. The incense gets me in a trancy state so that I can ground. I ground. I visualize I am sitting at a tree. The roots of my body through my spine are going into that tree. They wrap around a huge crystal at the bottom of the roots of the tree. And I am filled with golden light. I am re-energized. I center by doing some breathing exercises, or part of that meditation is breathing or visualization. I mean, people use different words for different things. And often, I have a hunk of salt that I rub my body with. I rub myself all over with that salt to cleanse. Oftentimes, I have another chunk of salt that I take a shower with, and I do the same thing, head to toe, with that salt chunk, because it cleanses the icky off that is left over from the manic or the depressive. Now, when I get manic and or depressive, yes, in my depressive state, I can rarely pull myself out on my own. It takes a good team from my family. I have a very supportive family. The manic, I am not that person who goes absolutely crazy, gets angry and beats the crap out of people. I'm not that. I get very change my house around. I want to move furniture. I want to clean places I've not cleaned in months. The depressive state doesn't want to do a thing. It doesn't want to clean. It doesn't want to do dishes. It doesn't want to cook. It doesn't care. But the manic part of me wants to make up for all the depressive part of me. Again, I don't get manic often. I would say, honestly, maybe 4 times a year. And therefore, I only get the depressive about 4 times a year. My medications are very good. Yes, I do take my medications. I know a lot of witches, a lot of people in my position feel that medications are detrimental to magic or to your ability to transcend this state that we're in, the mundane state. I do not feel that way. I do not feel that I would be alive without my medications, and therefore I'm very, what's the word, staunch on my medications. When I have found that when I start slipping on medications, that's when all the bad things start happening. So I have made a very big deal out of staying in line with my medications. Okay, so let's back up. A magical life. Well, I'm very lucky. My window, I'm in the nighttime, or I would show you, my window looks out over a pond on my property. My property is not the greatest property. I do want to move because my landlord is not the greatest landlord. However, there is a pond and it's gorgeous, and I have turtles and ducks. There's even a pelican that comes to visit. Seagulls and other seabirds, and hawks and crows, and there are so many birds and so much wildlife. There are frogs and toads and pollywogs. If you walk up to the side of the pond, the edge of the pond, you can see the pollywogs. There are so many. So it's a gorgeous place to be in the form of nature, and I am able to see that every single morning from my window at my desk where I'm sitting right now. That's magic. My chickens waking me up in the morning, or trying to wake me up. I'm usually up before them, but my chickens, my rooster is crowing by 4 a.m. and he does not stop till daylight. And then he comes down and they're ready to eat and I get to feed them. When they are finished eating and they leave, the cardinals come, the swallows come, and all these birds come and eat the rest of the feed that the chickens did not finish. At night, I have raccoons and possums, and that is magical. Going outside and having a fire, that is magical. Using the smoker to make a brisket for 16 full hours straight, that is magical. A lot of people are vegan, so they're going to think I'm crazy, but there are many moments in my day that are magical. And I think really living a magical life is breaking it down. Beanbag said that, breaking it down into magical moments. So not always is everything always magical, but there are moments, many moments throughout the day that are magical and that make you feel as though you've actually attained something or reached something and had that connection with something. Whether it's lighting your candles and your incense or touching on nature each morning, being able to deal with life's challenges in a, what is the normal, in a normal way, dealing with those challenges. But is there a normal? I mean, I don't know that there's necessarily a normal. I think we all do the best we can and we strive to do the best we can. At any rate, I don't have the fancy editing things going. I'm trying to learn it, but I am old. I will be 60 years old in July. And you know, what you see is what you get. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope everybody does a VR to this. I think it's a great subject. What is a magical life? And I honestly believe that it is a moment-to-moment choice that we make to be magical, to feel connected to magical, to the universe, to nature, and ancestors, and ourselves, and the divine. Please remember, you're all divine, sacred beings of light and love. I love each and every one of you with all of my heart. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely night, morning. It's pretty late. At any rate, good night.